Okay.
Should we start talking? Should we do the podcast?
Yes, let's do the podcast.
Okay.
Um, so Ryan, I want to talk about something today on the podcast that may not seem like something that you would think about when you're growing your social media community. And that is that developing intimacy with your social media community is vital to your success marketing your business.
Okay.
And, a lot of people think intimacy means, romantic relationships or the physical part of connection, but really it's about connecting at a deeper level with a person or a group of people where they feel like seen and heard and understood. That builds a lot of trust and connection between you and whoever you're building that intimacy with. And
Yeah.
so I thought we could talk about that today and share that with the listeners, why it's vital to your success and how you might go about building intimacy with your social media community.
Cool. How do we define intimacy in this context? What is an
How,
intimate connection between a social media content producer and a social media content consumer? How can we define the connection as intimate?
yeah.
That's my
So,
first question. I have many questions for you, intimacy expert Alana Banks.
I look at intimacy with your social media community or people within your community as a deep understanding of what they need, what they want, what they desire, and building a space or creating a space where they feel like they are being heard and seen and understood.
Got it. So there's a connection,
Yeah,
Um, and I think some people might hear that and say, well, a social media follower that feels seen and heard and understood, how can that be? And let me tell you, it can be, right? And, it may not necessarily mean that Alana and I literally can see our followers sitting in their homes, scrolling on their phones, consuming social media. But what it means is that I think, and you can let me know if your definition's a little different, but I think it means that we demonstrate that we understand our niche, that we understand who are the people in our niche, what are their challenges, what are their problems, what are their desires,
yeah,
what is their day-to-day life, and what is the direction they want to go, right? And when you
totally.
demonstrate that you understand those things, that's establishing authority in your niche, or we could call it creating intimacy within your social media presence.
Yeah, I think that's true. And it's also when you have those ingredients, then the people that are part of the community feel like they belong to something. And as humans, we all want to belong. We all want to be part of a group, be part of something, feel like we're important. And when you foster that type of connection and understanding within a community that you're leading, then the people within it feel like they're part of your thing. They feel like they want to be part of your thing. They want to be part of your group. They want to be part of whatever it is you're doing.
Yeah, that feeling of community is very important.
Yeah.
That's there's a term in business, and that very sophisticated technical term is stickiness. How sticky are you?
Yeah.
The more you create a sense of community when you're creating content and when you're teaching and when you're sharing value, the more sticky you are. And all that means is that people want to stick around longer, right?
Yeah. 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 And another word for that is building intimacy. Like, building community, having that stickiness is developing an intimate relationship with your community, your clients, your customers, whatever that might be. So let's just we'll go through like a quick list because we have other ways that we can discuss in terms of like how to build intimacy with your social media community. Because some people might be like, that's cool. I love this idea. But like, how the heck do you go about doing that? But before we go there, let's just talk about why developing intimacy with your social media community is vital to your success. Because there's 5 reasons why.
Cool. Love it. Okay, what's the first reason?
So the first one is it helps you build trust, right? So when you develop intimacy with your social media community, you build trust with your followers. And, the social media people out there always talking about having that know, like, trust factor. This trust helps you build a loyal fan base. Those people are going to ultimately help you achieve your goals, which is selling your service, selling your membership, selling coaching packages. Because when people trust you, they buy from you.
Yeah. Cool. I
Okay.
like that. Got it. Builds trust. Very important, by the way.
Yeah, builds trust. It also, number two, it helps when you have trust, then that creates loyalty because people are starting to know, like, and trust you. They want to be around you. They become loyal followers. And when they become loyal, that leads to increased engagement, right? Which means more comments, more direct messages, more people sharing whatever it is that you're putting out there, more people talking about you.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that's a great one. Increased engagement is definitely going to be a result of increased feeling of intimacy and community and trust and all that stuff in your social media presence. I love it.
Yeah.
Cool. Next one. And I have access to these lists too, everybody. So I can read items from the list. List item number 3 of why developing intimacy with your social media community is vital is that it improves your brand reputation. That's a great one.
Yeah.
Brand reputation is interesting and important, right? It's one of the little levers that people will use to determine whether they want to invest in your services or not, for sure.
Yeah. And also, when you have good brand reputation, then people are more likely to recommend you, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if you have a great reputation and people are knowing, liking, and trusting you, then chances are if they're out for lunch with a friend or, they're cruising Facebook and they see someone is struggling with something that they know you can help solve, they're more likely to be like, oh, by the way, I am part of this great group, or, you should come into this community because it's wonderful, right? So the better the brand reputation, the chances of people sharing you and referring to you are higher. And I mean, that's where you want to get to in your business, where, a lot of your clients become referrals and not just like you pounding the pavement in the hopes of getting clients.
Yeah.
Right. It's always such a compliment when you get a client referral from someone else, because that really speaks to the kind of experience that person who referred you had with you.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. Excellent point. Cool. What's the next one?
The next one is it provides you with valuable feedback. So when you develop intimacy with your social media community, you create a space where your followers feel comfortable providing feedback. And feedback is so vital to your success because, you don't want to just put something out there and then it's just sort of like, this is the way it is, right? The feedback is where your growth is. The feedback is where you can iterate your program, or you can add things or remove things or make changes. And when you listen to feedback from your community and make the changes, then they really feel valued, right?
Yeah.
Because they're like, wow, the person that's leading this community really cares about what I have to say, really, is respecting my opinion, or respecting, like, the changes that I want to make, whatever. So when you have like an intimate group of people, or you have a community where they feel safe enough, right, to share feedback, whether like constructive feedback, then like that is amazing.
Yeah. Yeah. I recently had one of my students who's, been certified in hypnosis with me in the past, and she's been following my work for several years. And obviously, I mentioned this before, I recently launched the Simple Social Sanctuary membership, and she looked at the sales page and didn't sign up. And then, a couple of days later, sent me this voicemail and was just like, Ryan, I have this really honest feedback about the sales page, and here's why I didn't sign up, even though I know it's awesome. Like, this little thing was missing for me in the sales. It's not that there was something wrong with it or whatever. She's just like, I just needed to know this thing. and it wasn't in there. And I was like, oh, perfect. And like, I like didn't even like immediately respond to the message. I went and corrected the thing in the sales page, and then I responded. And I was like, yes, thank you for telling me that. And that's so valuable.
Yeah,
Creating context where you can get that feedback, right? And
totally.
people feel comfortable giving it because you've created that trust, that intimacy, we'll call it, with your followers, with your students, with your clients, etc.
Kudos to you for that. That's awesome.
Kudos to me and to you, Atlanta Banks. Thank you.
And then the last one for why developing intimacy is vital to your success is it leads to increased sales at the end of the day,
Yeah. Yeah.
right? When the community feels connected to you, when they're, feeling like they're part of something, then they're more likely to buy.
Yeah. When they trust you, when they like you, when they feel they can be honest with you and you'll be honest with them. Yeah. Those things all dramatically increase the likelihood of them wanting to invest.
Yeah.
Cool.
So those are the reasons why developing intimacy are important. So
Yep.
now, the listeners might be thinking, that's cool, but like, how the heck do I do that?
Yeah.
Right? So you're in luck because we actually have 10 ways to build intimacy with your social media community.
Excellent. 10 ways.
10.
They only need like 3 ways. Why do we have 10? They don't deserve all 10, do they?
Well, I mean, it's a nice round number.
All right. We love our listeners. So we'll give them
Yeah.
all 10 of the secrets to creating intimacy with your social media following. Fine. Fine.
Yeah. And some of them you may know already. Some of them you may be doing already, but there may be some surprise ones on here. Or you may have thought, oh, I didn't realize I was creating intimacy within my community. So there you go.
Yeah. All right.
All
Let's give
right.
them this. Enough
Yeah.
preamble.
So
Enough, enough
preamble.
mid-amble.
All right. So number one is, and we've talked about this a ton. We don't need to go on about this one, but number one is engage with your followers by responding to comments and direct messages. Like, I don't know how many more times we can say this season, but if you're not commenting back, replying to direct messages, get on that, because that is the first way you're going to develop connection within your social media community. When you're responding, it shows that you care, right? And that your followers are valuable to you and that their input, their opinion matters.
And I would love to repeat my metaphor from last week or the week before.
Oh, yeah.
Imagine, ladies and gentlemen and people, you're having a cocktail party at your home. You've invited lots of people. You've invited friends and friends of friends. And there's even a few strangers who you've never met in your home. And then midway through the evening, one of them comes up to you and says, hey, thank you for inviting me here. I really enjoy your home. It's really nice the way you've put it together. And you look at them, say nothing, and turn around and walk away. That is what you're doing to people if they comment on your content, or even worse, if they send you a DM and you don't acknowledge it and you don't give an adequate and caring response.
Yeah.
It really can damage rapport. It literally can prevent a person who was going to be your client from becoming your client.
Yeah.
Don't do it.
Yeah. Don't do that.
Yeah.
Engage with your followers.
Yes. Number next.
Number two.
Share personal stories and experiences that your followers can relate to. This helps to create a connection and build trust with your audience. Now, we're not saying overshare. You don't need to spill every detail of last weekend out with your buddies or whatever. But if you have stories or experiences or metaphors or tales that are relevant, and or people will learn from, or people will come to understand you and your motivations better because of them, boom, put them in there.
Yeah, definitely. And it also shows that you're a human, like you're real, like you're not some kind of like coach on a pedestal who's perfect and healed and all the things, right? Like you're a regular person who has a life and stories.
Yes.
Okay, good. So number 3, host Q&A sessions or live streams where your followers can ask you questions and get to know you better. I like this one. I think sometimes going live can be very intimidating for people because they're like, oh, I don't know what to talk about and it's live and, it's not scripted or I can't edit anything. But when you do go live, and we've talked about this before too, it shows your authority because it shows that you're actually a real person who can sit or stand in front of a camera and speak about something for a few minutes that you're an expert in. But yeah, it also does give the community an opportunity for them to engage with you if they want, like if they want to ask questions in real time, or maybe, you do a monthly Q&A or something like that, where it's like an ask me anything or like a live coaching or something like that. And this is an opportunity for your community to, like try you on, you know what I mean? Like, if they have been thinking about coaching with you but aren't really sure or not feeling that comfortable, this is an opportunity for them to get a little bit of something from you without having to pay.
Yeah. Yep, that's a good one. I like this one. Go live, host Q&As.
Yeah, and this is kind of like with even our podcast, right? Like every season we kind of do like a getting to know us episode, and that's a way to build intimacy with the listeners because it's a way to like ask kind of fun questions that gives a little bit more insight to who we are as human beings, not just podcasters here talking about coaching stuff.
Yeah. Yep. Cool. We got that one. Number 4, create a sense of community by encouraging your followers to share their own stories and experiences. This helps to foster a supportive and inclusive environment. Yeah, this is one I need to do more of, maybe, is
Mm.
give people the opportunity to talk about what they've got going on in their world and, how they got to be where they are. I really
Yeah,
like this one. Yeah.
I
And
like that one too.
there's different ways to do it, but that's a good one. I like it. That for sure will build intimacy and connection.
Yeah. And it also builds connection between the people who are in that community too, right? Because you tend to gravitate to people who are more like you. So if you open that door and give people the opportunity to um, share, what they're into, then that could spark relationships to break off within the community, which is really great.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, good point.
Number 5, I love this one. I think this is so important, and I think sometimes people think they need to be super serious. But use humor and lightheartedness in your content to make your followers feel more comfortable and relaxed. I think that is really, really good, and that's something that I need to like be more not. I think just be more aware of sometimes. Like I can get too much in my head sometimes, and I like have to just be like, loosen up a little bit, Alana.
Yeah,
Like, lighten up. It's okay.
yeah.
Um,
Just drop down from your head into your heart and ground it in your knowing.
exactly,
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah. Cool.
So yeah, keep
Yeah,
things light. Have fun with your coaching. Like have fun with your content too. Share some funny reels from time to time.
be a real human person.
Yeah, show your personality. You don't have to be hilarious or like a comedian or anything like that, but just like I think this just says, show that you are imperfect too. And this might be difficult for some of the perfectionists that are listening too, that are like, I need to have everything look polished and amazing, and I have to have my makeup and hair done every time I show up on video. But, the candid stuff is fun.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Number 6 would be share behind the scenes glimpses of your life or work to give your followers a sense of exclusivity and make them feel like they're part of something special, which they are. I like this one.
Yeah, I like it too.
Yeah. I mean, some of my followers may note that pretty much every day, every day that I come into my office, I take a little clip of video, either from inside or outside my actual office building. So people kind of get a look at the setting where I physically am. And then every now and then I'll share like little tidbits, about what I'm up to. There's a lot of like if I'm traveling, there's tends to be a little bit more behind the scenes, like
Mm.
airport shots and airplane shots and that kind of stuff. People like that stuff.
Yeah, they
But
like it.
sometimes those pictures and little clips get more attention than like how I'm telling when I'm telling people how to make tons of money. They're like more interested in the airport lounge.
Totally. Well, I mean, us humans, we are innately nosy,
Mm,
right? We like
that's
to know
true.
like what's going on right behind the screen, what's
Yeah.
happening.
Oh, so
And
true. Like if you're out for a walk in the
yeah.
evening and like somebody's got their lights on in their house and their curtains happen to be open and you just in the corner of your eye you catch some movement, like I'm gonna look inside that. Like I'm not gonna walk up to the window and like leer in, but like as I'm walking by, I'll do some like side eye.
Yeah, what's
What's
going
oh,
on in there?
dinner party.
Totally.
Yeah,
I mean, it's just human nature, right? To want to know more, right? And the more little glimpses you show, it keeps people coming back for more too. That's
yeah.
just a little hot tip.
Hot tip, hot take, love it.
Number 7 is offer exclusive content or promotions to your most loyal followers as a way of showing your appreciation and building a deeper connection. So I love this because people will feel special if they're given access to something before everybody else. Right. So if they get like a special coupon code or discount code, or maybe access to, a free download or something like that before the public, it then makes you feel like you're part of something, right? Like you're on the inside, exclusive kind of content.
Definitely. Very true. Very true. I like that one. Cool. Let's see. Behind the scenes, exclusive content. Number 8, collaborate with other creators or brands that align with your values and mission. I've talked about this one a lot.
Yeah,
This helps to expand your reach and create a sense of community with like-minded individuals, and also the power of audience sharing. That's a
yeah,
good one.
yeah.
Yeah.
That is a good one.
And it's a good idea, and it's a good not idea. It is a good idea, but it's a good opportunity to inject humor, right? If you're having a fun, lighthearted conversation during a live video feed with another coach or with another person in your industry,
Yeah,
you know, those tend to lead to just spontaneous, interesting topics, right? So, boom, there you go.
yeah, and it's also just creating community among your colleagues too, right? So
Correct.
like you're part of a bigger group. It's not just like you as the authority and your clients. It's like, bringing in people from the community that you coach in as well.
Yeah,
So it's
absolutely.
like a more wholesome container or group or community.
Cool. Love it.
Yeah,
What's number
number
9?
9. Right, we're down to the last two people. So
Down to the last two.
number 9 is be transparent and honest with your followers about your successes and failures. I think that's important to note, and failures, because this helps create a more authentic and relatable persona. So, like I said before, you don't want to be this sort of like unreachable coach that's perfect on a pedestal, right? Like you want to show that you are human, that you make mistakes, that you have failures, that, you're doing the work too. And that just makes you more relatable, and it makes it feel less intimidating for people to reach out to you or want to work with you. Because often, I don't know about you, but like I follow some coaches on Instagram and on social media who just like they just don't seem reachable to me. Like I just don't feel like I could actually send them a direct message and that they're actually going to reply to me, right?
Yeah.
So it's more like they're a celebrity coach, for example. Like Tony Robbins, for example, is coming to mind. Like he's got an amazing community and group of people. And I'm sure if you're part of that community, you do feel understood and all the things, because he's got probably a bunch of coaches underneath him that make everyone feel included. But I don't feel like I can go to Tony Robbins' Instagram
Yeah.
page and send him a direct message. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, let me share a quick model with
Okay.
the audience here. And I call this the Judge Judy model because Judge Judy is one of my favorite celebrities. Okay, it's Judge Judy. For those of you that don't know, she has that daytime TV court show.
Yeah.
Actually, I think the original Judge Judy show now has finally
Is it
come
over?
to an end, and she's working on like a new Judge Judy show that's a little bit different format. Anyways, a lot of people I think are surprised to hear that Judge Judy earns $47 million per year. Did you know that, Alana
I
Banks?
did not know that.
47. Not only is she an excellent Judge, in my opinion. I don't agree with everything that she's said on that show, but a lot of it. She's a sharp business person, I would say.
Mhm.
Anyways, the reason I call it the Judge Judy model is because Judge Judy, down to earth lady, I'm sure, but it would make total sense if I sent her a direct message on Instagram and I never heard back. That
Yeah.
would make total sense because her level of reachability matches, her level of success, the size of her audience. She's millions of people love Judge Judy. She's like, even if she wanted to, she wouldn't have time to read all of our messages in fanfare. So when you run into problems is when your reachability doesn't match your basically your lifestyle, your business, your, et cetera, et cetera. If you are a life coach who has less than 1 million clients, and Tony Robbins has 1 million clients, like if you count the people that read his books, the people that go to his live things, the people that bought his programs, if you have less than 1 million clients and you're unreachable, or you want to pretend you're unreachable, or you want to pretend you're a celebrity and you have to go, people have to jump through hoops to get to you, you might be sending the wrong message.
Yeah.
Hey, maybe it'll work for you though. There's no rules,
Yeah.
right? Who cares what I say?
Whatever you want, I guess. Like whatever
Yeah.
you're going for as part of your coaching business.
But just know if you're giving off
If you're giving off Judge Judy vibes,
yeah, if you're giving off unreachable celebrity vibes, but you're not there yet, it's gonna damage rapport.
yeah,
Really,
because people can see through that.
right? If it doesn't make sense, like there's some coaches who I know who don't have 1 million clients, but they're 7, 8 figure coaches. They have thousands of clients. Okay, I get it. You have coaches beneath you that are your frontline people, and we only see the main coach, on the group calls or whatever. That I get it, right? Just because it's a numbers thing. Anyways, enough of that one.
Yeah.
We got the point there. Although maybe that was just me complaining about my own pet peeves about how people run their business. Anyway, yeah, whatever. It's our podcast. We can say what we want, right?
Yeah, we can say what we want. I mean, I'm with you. Like I see it.
Really, what
I
I'm
think
hoping,
it's important you be transparent and honest as long as you can. And then when you get to that point where you can't be, then you can be open and honest about that and just be like, listen, like some coaches are. Some people are like, I want to read every single message, but I just can't get through all of them.
Yeah.
And that actually I appreciate when people say that because I'm just like, okay, thank you. You're being honest. Because how do you know how many messages they're getting? You don't. You
Sure.
assume maybe they're getting lots, but maybe they're not.
By the way, if anybody who's listening knows Judge Judy personally and can set up a meet and greet between her and I, you let me know. Big fan. Okay. Number last. You want to read it for us, Lightweights?
Yeah. Take the time to listen to your followers and respond to their feedback. This shows that you value their input and are committed to creating a positive experience for them. Yeah. So this like goes back to the whole like cocktail party situation, right? Like make sure that you're listening and, are you listening? Are you understanding them? Are you asking them questions? Are you do you care? Because that translates. And just think about any friends you have or any relationships that you're in. If the person that you're talking to is just constantly on their phone and not listening to you and, is always asking you the same question, you're like, what the hell am I doing here? Are we in this together or are we not? Right. So it's like, just treat it like any relationship that you might have.
Yeah. Well, this one is about, I like this one. This one's about feedback, right? Like paying attention to the response that what you're doing gets from the people who you're serving. So let's go back to the cocktail party, right? In the mansion. I don't know why it's a mansion now, but it is. Let's go back to the cocktail party. And let's say, one of your guests comes up to you and is like, hey, really great cocktail party. Everybody's having a great time. Everybody loves it. Just so you know, most of us are vegetarian and you're serving a lot of meat products at this cocktail party. I don't know if, maybe the next time you throw one, you might want to have more vegetarian options, right?
Yeah.
They're not casting judgment about what's right or what's wrong or who should eat what. They're just saying your particular guest list is on the vegetarian side of the spectrum. So a good host would say, "Oh, wow, thank you for letting me know. Yeah, of course, I'll adjust that for the next time."
Yeah.
Somebody who does not listen to the feedback of their guests at the cocktail party would say, "What? Well, that's tough. That's what I like, so I'm going to keep serving them." Right? Don't
Yeah.
do that.
Yeah.
Don't
Don't
do
do
that.
that. Or
Listen
like
to
another like really quick in time one I'm thinking is there's no toilet paper in the bathroom.
There's no toilet paper in the bathroom. Yeah, get
Like,
the toilet paper.
hey, just wanted to let you know there's no toilet paper in the bathroom. Could someone do something about that? And they're like, well, it's fine.
Yeah. Don't go. Don't go
Don't go to the
to.
bathroom then,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. Or whatever.
So
Yeah. Cool. Got
that's
it.
something you could remedy right away if you were listening and cared.
Yeah. So remember, folks, the metaphor is give your followers toilet paper.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I hope these tips help. I think that they will inevitably help you build a stronger, more intimate relationship with your social media community. And let us know, are you doing these things? Let us know which one surprised you or shocked you the most. Um, maybe this sparked some ideas for you.
Yeah. Love it. Boom.
Cool.
Cool. We got
So
it.
so that's it for the intimacy edition of the social media season.
I like it. We got it. Be intimate, folks, with
Yeah.
your
Don't
following
shy away.
in the manners that we described, right?
Mm-hmm.
Cool. All right, Atlanta Banks, what do you got going on?
What have I got going on?
Anyway, so the Simple Social Sanctuary is open and accepting members now. If you're interested in sharpening your social media skills as a coach or hypnotist, ryanmontes.com/simple social. I've got 76 members in there, including Atlanta Banks, and they're loving it. The feedback is overwhelmingly positive. So if you want to, without spending too much time or effort or money, you want to up your social media game with me and work with me, ryanmontes.com/simple social. Hey, Atlanta, what do you got going on these days?
I've got a retreat coming up in November.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, which I'm very excited about. And there will be more information dropping soon about that. But if you're interested in a retreat that is all about actually intimacy and creating deeper connections with every part of your life, your relationships, your career, yourself, your health, then you may be interested to know that this is actually a local. If you're in the Ontario area, it's going to be in Collingwood. And you can just send me a direct message because I answer them all. I am very reachable. And that's at Atlanta Banks Coaching. Just send me a message there if you're interested in hearing more about my retreat.
Cool. Love it. And are you still taking clients for palm readings? Like online palm readings?
I am. Yeah. I'm taking clients for palm readings. I'm taking clients. I actually have a whole new menu of options for my clients that involve palm reading, hypnosis, negative emotion releases.
Yeah.
So yeah, I've got lots of options. I'm just kind of rejigging some things with my website right now, but yeah, please. The best place to start with me is a palm reading because it's not your typical palm reading.
Yeah. Yeah. I had a sample of Atlanta. I haven't had a formal palm read with Atlanta Banks, but we were hanging out right after she finished her training. I think I must have been amongst one of the first, or was I the first person post training?
I think you were, yeah, one of the first.
You read?
I mean, it was not a great palm. I wouldn't consider that a palm reading. It was okay.
Oh, it was okay. So I need to book another one then, obviously. Cool. Okay, so folks, reach out to Atlanta, go to her retreat. It's going to be awesome. I would go, but I think it's mostly for women.
Yeah, it's for women.
Otherwise, I'd be there. But yeah, cool. I guess that's going to be it for this one. Sign up for the Simple Social Sanctuary.
Follow us on Instagram.
Follow us on Instagram. Buy a mug. Thank you to the one person who has bought a mug so far. Two
people. Yeah.
Oh, that's right. Two. Thank you to the two people who bought mugs. Cool. All right. That's it.
Okay. Bye, everyone. Bye.